Hey folks, Carla Sands here, putting in a plug for Gene Valentino's Grassroots Truthcast.
Hi, friends. Gene Valentino. We've got to get on this herpes virus and attack it at its source. If you're tired of these cold sore breakouts caused by the herpes virus, you've got to discover this product I'm on board with. It's called Herplex, the natural homeopathic remedy that works on your body's defenses. Visit buyherplex.com/Gene. Do it today and save 25% on your first order by using the discount code GENE25. Throw that code in there and you got yourself a discount. Let's conquer herpes and cold sores together.
And the studio crowd just went wild because they saw Gene pop up on the screen here on our Zoom call. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning, gentlemen. Yeah, today's amigos are here at your disposal, everybody. And boy, do we have a few thoughts for today.
Yeah, the Velvet Hammer here joining us this morning from Pensacola, and we appreciate that. I saw something. I don't know what it was. Maybe you can refresh my memory. There was something that I saw that the state of Florida was going through trying to figure out, who was spending money on stupid stuff. And looks like Pensacola might have hit the top spot.
Yeah, something with detention. I may have missed it. Which one? Which issue? We've got a few issues here. So
it was something to do with DEI spending.
I'm not familiar with that, but not surprised. It's my attention.
Well, we should have talked about this before the show.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm not surprised. I mean, it might tie into some of the things we're talking about. Today is day 24 of this Chuck Schumer shutdown. And boy, we've had some, you never really understand how things impact you until it takes on a life of its own, Michael, and has personally impacted you. It's always a news story, it's always someone else's issue until it's your issue. And when it's your issue, all of a sudden, the brakes go on and everything stop, and there's a crisis at hand because it's your issue. Here in Pensacola, Florida, just day before yesterday, a good gentleman whose name I've brought up here on this show more than once over the last 5 years is my good buddy, a libertarian, a patriot, a person who believes in freedom and liberty. His name is Larry Downs Jr. Plumbing. Uh, this is not a plug for his plumbing operation, although he's got one of the best ones in the region. Larry is in his spare time with his sons and daughter, enjoy mixed martial arts, boxing, and Larry's a referee. He's brought me into the mixed martial arts and boxing world, and I became a certified judge in the boxing, sanctioned with the Boxing Association here in the state of Florida. And long story short, Larry's plumbing operation is doing a job on the northeast end of Pensacola just 2 days ago. And the boys are out cleaning up or fixing a water main that was leaking coming into a commercial building. Woman's yelling to them, "Hey, stop this guy." And the two boys look up, half in a ditch, half up on the curb with their shovel and pick, and they say, "What's the matter? That guy right there, he broke into my car. He stole my belongings. He damaged my car. Stop him. You want us to get him?" "Yeah," she said, "get him." So the plumbers drop the stuff on the ground and go haul ass into a full sprint, chasing this guy a few hundred yards towards the woods. It turns out the guy's an illegal alien from Venezuela who has made his way into the back roads of Pensacola. He's vandalizing the personal assets of an elderly woman who's minding her business, doing her daily thing, and this guy pulls out a pipe and brandishes it and starts swinging recklessly to try to stave off the threat of these two boys. Now, Larry's sons are pretty good boxers. Some have boxed and in mixed martial arts professionally. These are two dudes you're not wanting to mess with. Let me put it to you that way. And, and he got this Venezuelan backed up into the woods, running for his life. And someone else calls the police. The police come running. The drone is immediately dispatched. Canine on the ground. They catch the guy. The guy is under custody. He is now in jail here in Pensacola, and he's about to be turned over to ICE authorities for release and return to Venezuela. The guy is in deep doo-doo, and he's done harm to an elderly woman. This is not real until it's in your backyard. And
Yeah.
we talked about it, Michael. You in law enforcement in the past, you know firsthand the impact of something like this, impacting the folks locally, and how things sometimes are never real until it hits your wallet or hits your personal way of life. And we've talked about this over the years. It's we're going to spend the next few years getting this ilk out of our country because of the Biden administration's reckless disregard for the safety of our nation.
Agreed 100%. And of course, this is a great story because it's got a wonderful ending. We're getting rid of an illegal alien who is here, who has slipped into the, as you described, the back roads of Pensacola, Florida. How many of those are on the back roads of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Laurel, Mississippi, over in Waynesboro, maybe down on the coast in Biloxi or Gulfport? They're here. And we know that because we've had some raids here as well for with some of the local police participating with the feds and gathering up some of these illegals. And so you're right. It's going to take a long time. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's just a steady work product that will continue to get these people out. And that's what we voted for. We voted for this. And so thankfully, you know, we've got a Border Patrol now and ICE agents who are responsive to the local police officers when they call. There was a time when Pensacola could have called and said, hey, this is the Pensacola Police Department. We've got a guy who we think is illegal. We'd like for you to come look at it. And they would say, well, sorry, we're busy. We can't come.
Well, it's my neighborhood today. It's your neighborhood tomorrow, as you said, but it's anywhere USA, right? I mean, this is we're one nation under God with liberty and justice for all of us, not the select few. And the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, and all these ilk. And I regret to say they're the baby boomers, your age and my age, that have thought that they deserve some sort of entitlement and right to run government under their direction, under their rules, and that the silent majority not be regarded. I think that's about to change. Got an interesting statistic here. Political violence is never acceptable, is the statement. 93% of the baby boomers believe in that. 86% of the people are Gen Xers, and they believe in that. But Gen Z says that only 58% believe that political violence is never acceptable. So the Gen Z crowd, our children and grandchildren, are beginning to think that violence is necessary to fix some of the problems in this nation. That to me is a big concern, but look at what's happening. The younger crowd is now stepping up, the Charlie Kirk phenomenon, and they are entering a world where they're stepping up to bring back conservatism, stave off the threat of these foreign adversaries. And as Trump said recently in the Financial Times, the biggest enemy is from within. The nation's takedown from bad forces is more serious than the threat of China and Russia combined externally. And we are going to find ourselves having to protect ourselves from this threat in the next years ahead. That's okay. Let's get to it. Let's get it fixed. Let's cooperate with our local law enforcement. Let's do it legally, but let's do it because our poor our law enforcement folks have been handcuffed with the likes of this anti-ICE movement that's starting with the Schumers and the blue state Antifa folks. It's just a mess what's going on nationwide.
Did you happen to see, you brought up Nancy Pelosi in the beginning of your conversation here. Did you happen to see what she said about ICE officers and basically federal officers in general, that they should be arrested by the local authorities and therefore charged and hopefully put in jail, and the president would not be able to pardon them? What is wrong with her?
She is an example of a regime within even the Democrat Party that's whispering to get her out, but to take out Schumer, Jerry Nadler, Hakeem Jeffries, um, Waters, Maxine Waters, and all of that AOC crowd, the younger generation, the AOC crowd and the squad, as they're called, have represented extremes within the liberal left that have gone too far. What liberal left element in American history has proven successful? We cannot think of one. It's always been the rebound back to some mainstream conservatism, Michael, that has saved this nation. And it's a shame that we now have to spend the time saving the nation again instead of growing a plan that protects America for the next 100 years. China's doing it. They got a plan in place going out 100 years, whether Xi Jinping survives or not. It's our benevolence sometimes that hurts us, and they don't like the bully feeling of Donald Trump, which is what's needed in a world that doesn't care about America. They care about taking control of America, and it's our duty to rebound before it's too late and save America. Remember détente under Nixon, where we went over to the Far East, the Indo nations, and we helped get them off the ground. This was the benevolence of America. No matter what you thought of America, we shared our wealth with the world, only to find out now we're getting slapped in the face. I don't mind Trump bullying tactics right now as a response, and I don't mind Trump getting a little bit more self-serving to take care of America first. It's necessary if we as a nation, with the beliefs that we've had from our founding forefathers, are to survive. This whole concept of liberty and justice for all, not the select few.
You know, I was thinking about this as you were talking. We brought up Nancy Pelosi and the craziness of the Democrats. Even J.B. Pritzker has said that he wants to basically arrest ICE agents and charge them for, with state crimes. The former mayor has come out and said they're collecting data to interfere basically with law and law enforcement. And so my question or my thought was this: as a former local law enforcement officer, I cannot imagine a scenario where I, along with other members of my department, would even consider going to arrest federal agents involved in a legitimate operation. It absolutely makes no sense. And I think you're going to see some pushback. If they do attempt that, I think you're going to basically see a lot of pushback from local police officers and administrators, chiefs and assistant chiefs and all the captains and majors and all those guys that are involved in this. They're not going to want to do this. Nobody wants to do that. That's crazy. We've got about 20 seconds.
Our local law enforcement officers are pivotal. They can't give up now. I honor them and thank them for them standing up and working during the necessary time to protect this nation. And now with 24 days in a budget crisis, possibly very soon without pay. We need to get behind our local law enforcement to protect the future of our democracy and help Donald Trump at the ICE level nationwide to do so in areas and regions that refuse to do so. If they're not going to fix it, Trump and the national government will. It's their duty to do so. Our Constitution mandates it.
Thank you, Gene Valentino. We appreciate you. We'll see you again next week.
Best to you, buddy. Hi, friends. Gene Valentino. We've got to get on this herpes virus and attack it at its source. If you're tired of these cold sore breakouts caused by the herpes virus, you've got to discover this product I'm on board with. It's called Herplex, the natural homeopathic remedy that works on your body's defenses. Visit buyherplex.com/Gene. Do it today and save 25% on your first order by using the discount code GENE25. Throw that code in there and you got yourself a discount. Let's conquer herpes and cold sores together.